Okay, hello Mukhtar.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. Welcome to the Gods and Proud podcast.
Thank you for your opening your doors.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Anytime. So I just thought like it would be nice to have a little conversation so that we can get to know you a little bit more. And also like I've had the opportunity to talk to you like a few times off camera, and you have had a lot of wisdom to share. So I thought maybe we can do this so we can get a little bit into your story.
Thank you very much. About the wisdom, I don't know about that, but it's nice to have a conversation with you.
For sure. You're welcome. So who is Mukhtar?
Well, Mukhtar Abib is an individual who was born in Somalia, 1972.
Okay.
North part of Somalia. I was grown up there, and my mom and my father, they have already passed away.
Sorry.
But my old sister have helped me, and she was giving me a really very good care.
Okay.
And I really appreciate about that. In 1988,
Yeah.
I left Somalia and I came to Cairo, Egypt.
Okay.
When I was leaving from Somalia, I was not even having any clue where I was heading, because the area where we have been living that time, Hargeisa area, 1988, there was erupted a civil war.
Okay.
And my family, they helped me to come to south part of Somalia. And there, my old sister, who was living that time there,
Yeah.
she helped me to come to Cairo.
Okay.
And that time I was 16 years old. I was very young, and I knew nobody. I knew nothing. And in Cairo, I didn't have any contact. I didn't have any relatives, no friends. But anyway, I came there, and I've met some wonderful Somali youngsters who have helped me. And I was living with them almost 9 months,
Okay.
1 year.
Okay. So you lived in Cairo for like about a year at least.
About a year, yeah.
Okay. So you came to.
From Cairo, and then I get opportunity to come to Moscow.
Okay.
And I was in Moscow almost 3 hours. And
Okay.
my main goal and my main aim was to get place
Right.
where I can have security.
Right.
Security was very important
Right.
to me.
Right.
The day I was born until I was grown up and get 16.
Okay.
I was just seeing a civil war and seeing people fighting around me and things like that. And so I was eager to get place
Right.
where I can have at least a security and rebuild my future.
Right. So Moscow, you were there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that was like just a transit.
It was like a transit, even at Moscow, when I came at Moscow, a young Somali guy who was studying there in medicine, he helped me and he put me on the train which was coming to Finland. I didn't know anything about Finland.
Okay.
But he told me that, maybe Finland you can get security, and maybe Finland you can have life.
Right. So when did you come to Finland?
I came 19 July 1990.
1990. Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah, I was young and I was very handsome.
Yeah. No,
Now
you are still handsome.
Now I'm getting a little bit old, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to take care of myself and eat good food and go to train and things like that. But that time I was a young man.
For sure.
It was a shock to me when I came. I remember the day I came to Finland. People, they look all the same.
Right.
And actually it was a beautiful day because it was summertime.
Okay.
And many people, they were not that time in the cities, they were in the countryside.
Yeah.
Because in July, in Finland, it's almost closed.
Right.
But the hospitality and the kind of deep, welcoming that Finland has given me, that the officials has given us, was something like that I can never forget.
For sure, without a doubt. So obviously, when you came to Finland in 1990, it must have been different compared to now, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's
what was the experience like then, around 1990, being an African coming to Finland? I don't think like at that point there was a lot of Africans living in Finland.
I can hardly remember the statistics, but
Okay.
some friend of mine, they told me that when we came 1990s to Finland,
Yeah.
the number of foreigners here living in Finland was less than 10,000.
Okay, that's
Now
very,
we are speaking about a population of 500,000, maybe 600,000
yeah.
foreigners are living nowadays.
Right.
It was completely different. I remember one day I was walking at the railway station.
Yeah.
We were 3 Somalis, and I remember Finnish guys, they stopped us and they took camera, and then they want to take photos with them. And I, while I was speaking English, I just asked them, are you kind of police?
Yeah.
Are you investigating something? Have we done something wrong? And they said, no. This is the first time we met, lively, black person.
Right.
So if you don't mind, can we take photos? I said, go ahead, please.
Okay.
It was different. But now Finland is multicultural country.
Right, almost.
People came from different countries. So almost completely things has changed.
Yeah. So you mentioned a little bit that, all your life you have been looking for security and a place that you can find, pretty much peace of mind and stuff like that. So in a way, you must have had a tough childhood, seeing all those civil wars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you came to Finland, at that time, even though there was not so many like African people here, like, did you still feel like you got the security that you were looking for?
Speaking about myself, yes. Immediately when I came to Finland, at the border, when we came and we faced Finnish officials.
Okay.
The words that they have been using towards us.
Yeah.
Welcome to Finland. Now you are safe.
Right.
That's something you don't expect from everybody.
Absolutely.
I feel like that. They are representing the system. They are representing the Finnish nation, and they are representing the whole nation. So they are. That they said welcome to Finland. It meant a lot to me, and still it means a lot to me.
Exactly. So let's talk about opportunities, right? So you have been in Finland pretty much most part of your life, right? So you must have studied in Finland, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I checked a little bit your website. I saw that you have a master's degree.
Master programs I went through,
right, in Helsinki University.
So many places.
Right. So in terms of opportunities, what type of opportunities did you get in Finland?
When I came to Finland, immediately when we were transferred from Helsinki, when we came first to Helsinki, to the refugee camp, I realized I've been talking to one, staff who was working that time at that place. He was a Finn. And I've been talking to him. I've been asking so many questions about Finland. And, when he told me that if you get residence here in Finland, you might have opportunity to have free education.
Okay.
It was something to me. It's like a dream. And free shelter and things like that.
Right.
I was very lucky. When I came to Finland, maybe 1 year and a half, then I get the residence. When I get the residence, immediately I start to study the language.
Right.
Because I knew always that the language is the key.
For sure.
To integrate the society.
For sure.
And I start to have a small book. And I write every new word I see on the streets.
Okay.
And I ask people, what does it mean? Sometimes I ask them, I tell them that I'm sorry that I ask you, but I am eager to study the language.
Right.
And sometimes, people, they tell to me, why you are studying this very strange language? I say, even if they kick me out of this country, one day when I go back to Somalia, I'm going to tell them, you guys, I study this language.
Right.
If you don't know, it might sound a little bit strange, but I know at least one more language. And then when I study the language and I get opportunity to start social school. I studied there almost 4 years and I became a social supervisor. And then immediately when I graduate from this school, I get work from Helsinki City Social Work.
All right, congratulations.
And I've been working there from 1993 till 2014. Ever since. And then I start to get a little bit more education and I train. I get teacher training education from Tampere University.
Okay, nice.
1 year I was a teacher, and then I realized that maybe this is not for me.
Okay.
Teacher is they're doing wonderful job.
For sure.
It's a big responsibility.
For sure.
But I'm kind of person, I like to have a kind of job that I can influence people.
Yes.
To believe themselves that they can build their future here.
Yeah.
Especially children, youngsters who have a foreign background.
Right. So I think like on your part, you seem to have this type of positive attitude even when you were learning Finnish language. Obviously Finnish language is spoken only in Finland. So for most people, learning Finnish is not like so important, because they think like, if I'm not gonna like for most foreigners, most of the time they think like, if I'm not gonna stay in Finland for all of my life, then there's no point in learning Finnish. But like you said, once you learn the language, it's easy for you to integrate into the culture.
Absolutely.
And when you are able to integrate into the culture, it's easy for you to get a job, get school, even make friends with people who can't even speak English.
Yes.
So you have had that attitude, and that has helped you a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I have also been living in Finland for a while now.
Yeah.
And like you, I also came here as a refugee, and I lived also in the refugee camp for a year. And for me, like when I came to Finland, my idea was to study. So even when I was in the refugee camp, every day I would read to get into the university. And eventually I got into the university, and I studied nursing. Ever since, I have never been unemployed, because as a nurse you always get a job, and as a nurse who also speaks the language, you get a lot of opportunities.
Absolutely.
But then at the same time, sometimes you meet different people from African backgrounds, and they seem to only have obstacles in front of them. It's almost like they don't have any opportunity. But from you, it seems like you had a very smooth transition. So,
well, thank you very much. I'm not denying. I'm not saying that we don't have obstacles here. We don't have challenges here.
Yeah.
Of course, as long as you are living in a foreign country, as long as you are living in a place where you are not familiar with the people, you are not familiar with the weather and things like that. Of course, there is always a challenge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There is something saying to me. Since now you are living here in Finland, try to get, a kind of strategy that you can manage and success in this country, not survive, but success in this country.
Right.
And if you don't speak the language,
it's more difficult.
How can you follow what's going on around you? And I am only responsible of myself. I'm not responsible of anybody. I've met many people who always say to me that, Finnish language, this country is the only country where people, they speak language. If you live today Finland, nobody understands what you are speaking.
That's true.
But I'm just speaking about myself. And on the other side, I feel like that it's my responsibility to show Finnish people that I'm respecting them because I'm studying the language. It's like that.
Right.
The language is the key, as I said.
Yeah.
And as I have said already, also the attitude is very important.
Yeah.
How you might face some difficulties here. You might face challenges here in this new society. Yeah. Which is I think normal. I'm not going to say that we have to accept it.
Yes.
But it's like that. Life is like that. But that doesn't mean you have to neglect your future.
For sure.
You have to try to get a way that you can rebuild the future. Right. Because you have only one life.
Yeah.
We're not going to be going to stay here for long.
Right.
We are for some time, and we are going to leave.
Yeah.
So to me, my mom always used to say to me that you have to always remember you have only one life, and always focus.
Right.
Book on the focus. What's essential to your life?
Yes. I think it's also really beautiful that you mentioned that you always like to have a strategy for the time being that you are in Finland, because in Ghana we also have a saying that wherever you put your foot, when you move your foot, like you move the sand also. Absolutely. So where you are at the time is where you are, and you have to always try to make the best out of it, which I think you have done really well. And hearing your story, it's very inspiring because, like, you came to a country as a refugee with basically nothing. I mean, I don't know if you came with other things, but I would assume, like, when you come to a country where you don't know the language, you don't know the people, you don't know the culture, survival is very difficult, right? But at least you had the most important thing that you were looking for, which was security at the time. But you have been able to move forward into getting education, working as a teacher, teaching people, and also now you also double as a politician, which means you have had also the opportunity to, I don't know, like, study the policies or influence even some policies and stuff like that. So what is your message? Like, what as a politician, where do you stand? What are you trying to teach people or to help people with?
Thank you. Finland as a society, I mean, this country creates conditions of opportunities.
Okay.
There are a lot of opportunity in this country.
That
doesn't mean that we are not going to face challenges.
Sure.
But here in Finland, as a child, as a young man, as a young person, the society is not demanding from you that you must be from a rich family.
Sure.
You must have a big money in order to get the kind of education you are looking for.
Yeah.
Here, the Prime Minister of the country and you can go to a same class.
Almost, yes.
And here you can have equal value.
Yeah.
And also in Finland, the most important thing I really respect and grateful to this country is that, the kind of hospitality that they have given to me and they have given to my people.
For sure.
And I can shortly say that I owe everything to Finland. For
sure. So in terms of opportunities, I also, like, me personally, I always say, if I have access to education and I am allowed to move freely and I'm also allowed to work, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of safety and security, I will always manage to survive, right? Yeah. Okay. So, like you, when I came to Finland in 2009, there was still free education. So I'm also like a benefactor of the free educational system in Finland. Yeah. Obviously, now it's not free for everybody anymore. I think for Finnish citizens and maybe their families or spouses and stuff like that, it might still be free, but for everybody it's not free anymore. But in terms of opportunities, when you came here, from then till now, do you still see the same opportunities? Do you think, like, a foreign person who comes to Finland today, like you came, in the 90s, do you think, like, there's still the same type of opportunities that existed then and now?
Well, actually, it depends the kind of status you have here in Finland. If we speak about, if you have a Finnish nationality, if you are Finnish citizen,
for sure,
or if you have a residence here in Finland, I think still the education is free for you.
Yeah.
But those people who are applying education to come to Finland, outside of Finland, and just to want to study, I think they might pay a little bit money.
Right.
According to other European countries, still I think it's not that big money.
Of course.
Of course, as I said, things change.
And definitely.
Finland also is changing.
For sure.
And the economical situation right now in Finland, there is a little bit decline.
Okay.
So as a local politician, a politician, we need money. We need money in order to, maintain the services that we are giving all people, youngsters, students, and these kind of things. To build houses for the citizens, things like that.
Okay. So one of the things that I want to ask you, because it seems like you have a very positive mindset or mentality. So what is your life philosophy in terms of, like, principles and values? What is your life philosophy?
Well, my basic life philosophy is always that in life,
Mhm.
you might face difficulties.
Sure.
You might face challenge. You might face, even sometimes you might face people who doesn't even like you.
Sure.
But as I said, we only have one life.
Yeah.
And I think I try not, to glance sides. Right and left. But just focus what is essential and important to me.
Yeah.
And there is one thing that my mom, before she died, said to me that whatever happened to your life, always remember that you have only one life and just focus on what you have that time.
Sure.
But if you get something, don't forget those who doesn't have anything.
Definitely. So your mom seems like she was a very wise woman, and she's giving you a lot of wisdom. So in that sense, like now, if you would have a message for your younger self or the youngsters that, some might be your student or some might be in your political constituent, what message would you have for them?
It's very short.
Right.
Study. One day you will get and you will be what you want in Finland. Okay. This country gives you opportunity. Finnish society creates a lot of opportunities.
Sure.
You will face, challenges, as I said. You will face difficulties. But Finland is one of the best countries.
For sure.
Where you can have the kind of life, or build the kind of life you want. Sure. Because society is ready, society is willing to help you. For sure.
Then I know like time is very limited for you today, but I have one more question that I want to ask you.
No problem.
And you mentioned that when you first came to Finland, which definitely was in the 90s, you said you were young and you were looking really handsome. In my opinion,
that's what I believe.
Yeah, no, it's a good belief. And now at your age, you look really fit.
Oh, thank you.
So I wanted to ask, like, how do you take care of yourself, and how do you get to look as young as you look now?
Well, thank you very much. That's flattering.
You're welcome.
Actually, the last, 15 years, 10 years, I've been going to the gym.
Okay.
3 or 4 times a week, and I try to eat, good food. Full of, vitamins and
sure.
minerals.
Sure.
And I walk a lot, and also I try to live life without stress.
Of course,
I don't mean that life will be always dancing with the roses.
Right.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
And it's, it can. That kind of life no one can have. Life.
Yeah.
But at least I try to be free from, things which are not necessary to me.
For sure. So most of my audiences are also into fitness. And I always try to advocate to my people that, regardless of how busy that you are, you should always try to fit, something with fitness into your schedule. And you as politician and also like social commentator, I would say, you must have a really busy schedule. So how do you manage to find time to still do like physical activities outside of your work?
Well, I think that's just excuse if somebody says that I cannot fit on it. To me, going to the gym and training and walking and taking care of myself, it's my life. And
sure.
If I don't take care of my life physically and mentally, how am I going to help somebody else?
Definitely.
This is gym is like my second home.
Definitely. So, on that notice, Mukhtar, I would like to thank you, first of all, for taking time out of your busy schedule.
No problem.
To come here and, share your knowledge. In Ghana, we have a saying that what an elderly person can see sitting, a young guy cannot even see standing.
Wow.
So we always grow with that mentality that when you see somebody who is a little bit older than you always ask them for advice. Obviously, not everybody would be able to give you good advice, but based on the conversation that we have today, most of the advice that you have given, it's really good advice. So thank you, and we are happy that we get to learn this from you.
Thank you very much too, and thank you for having me here. And I hope and I wish this is not the last time we will have a kind of conversation.
Definitely, because I think also like, you know, it's also our responsibility to share our experiences.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that we can also, you know, encourage and inspire other people to you know, steady and keep moving in life. So thank you very much,
It's
Mukhtar.
my pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.